How to repair a grill. In this situation, my grill is about 10 years old and the pieces have started to rust out and just fall apart. So I'm going to go ahead and replace these components for about $60, and that'll save me from having to buy a whole new grill. So the first thing I'm doing is just removing the metal pieces that cover where the gas and the flames come out, so that you can kind of see what's happening here. I just ordered the parts through Amazon, and that's, you see me taking the parts out of the box here. Here are my replacement parts. You can just look on the back. Well, for me, it was on the back of underneath the grill, had the model number, and then you can search for parts for your make and model of grill. So the first thing I need to do is pull out these clips that hold these components into place, and I'm just using a pair of needle nose pliers to grab the end of the clip and then pull it out to the side. As you can see, these lift out. These pieces lift out once the clips are removed. So I'm just basically going to lift out all of the pieces and get ready for the new ones to go in. Now, I haven't pulled out this one yet because it has the starter connected to it, and I want to just deal with that last. So installing the new ones is just a matter of setting them in the hole properly, closest to where the gas controls are located, and then you slide the back in over the piece that that little clip is going to go through to hold it in place. Now the starter is basically clamped onto the part where the gas comes out of the, for the heat for the grill. So I need to carefully remove that, take the clip off that's holding it on, and then carefully remove that. I want to keep everything in good shape because I didn't get a new starter with the kit. I was planning to reuse the existing starter since it still works fine. So now I'm just installing the piece that the starter is going to be connected to. And you do need to really get that starter in just the right spot where it's not going to work. There's like, for this particular model of grill, there's a little hole on the bottom side of that pipe where the starter is going to need to be near, so that little spark can catch the gas when it's coming out. So it's got to be in just the right spot to work. For my project, it took a little finagling to get it to clamp on properly and be in just the right spot to actually work. Then once all of your pieces are in place, you can put the clips back in. Now I decided to reuse the clips that held it in before because they were a little bit thicker material. They were better made, the original ones. The newer ones, they were just a little bit, the material was much thinner and they would not withstand as much abuse. So I went with the originals. Now before I closed everything, I just did a little bit of extra cleaning in the grill, got some of the grease out that had accumulated in the bottom, and just put it into basically a container that had mixed nuts in it, and then that eventually is going to go into the trash can. Now there is this design of replacement piece that I'm putting in now actually has adjustability to make sure that it can be fit to your particular grill. So now I'm just putting those across the front here, and that actually helps the flame travel from one to the other in the starting process. And then you just go ahead and clamp those on. Then we'll put the final pieces on top of those protective guards. It's a matter of sliding them in the front and then down in the back. There's the old ones compared to the new. Of course, those pieces didn't need to be replaced, but I did anyway. Now my my temperature gauge had failed, so I'm going to replace that as well. And I just went ahead and ordered one along with the other parts. It's a matter of taking this little screw off here, which you can do with your fingers. You don't need any tools for it. And then removing the existing temperature gauge and putting a new one in. And they're fairly inexpensive. Now the one that I got, it's the same company, but it's slightly different made, so it didn't fit into the little piece that was originally right under the temperature gauge. So I just went ahead and installed it in the hole as it was. Sure, it'll look a little silly sticking up the way it does, but I don't really care. I'm just more concerned about functionality than the looks. There's the piece that originally went under it, but this one has a flat side across the bottom, whereas the replacement temperature gauge did not have that flat side. It was rounded. Now I'll put my grates back on, and just to keep my hands somewhat clean, I had a bag sitting there, so I just used the bag around my hand to place these in place. All right, now it's time to give this thing a try and do some cooking. We're gonna have some chicken. Why not? Let's see what it does. I'm checking the temperature gauge and it is working. So nice to have that thing working again. So this chicken is marinated in zesty Italian dressing, which if you've never had that, give it a try. I think it's quite good. And there you have it. Time for dinner. I'll have to see you next time. Thanks for tuning. Hit that like button, please, and subscribe, share, whatever. And I'll catch you in the next video.